Today, I'm going to be showing you how to make the perfect steak sandwich. Got the ribeye here, it's prime, got it from Costco, just thawed it out. It's been dry brined with just salt and pepper, so flavors should be deeply penetrated by now. We're going to let it get to room temperature, very important if you want the consistency of rareness. There'll be more on that later on, because if you do it from cold, you find when you cook it, yes, it will be medium rare if you want, but there'll be like a harsh ring where the outside is extremely cooked, the inside is extremely raw. No, we want a gradual, like perfect medium rare start to finish. So to do that, you got to let it get to room temp. Second, we're going to use a stainless steel pan. I might use my larger one, just, you know what, this will be perfect. With a bit of olive oil, I use Graza. And we're going to finish with a little bit of butter basting. It's very, as you can see, very well marbled. As it is prime. Very expensive. Bought 3 of these in December. One went in a Philly cheese. Some might argue a bit of a waste. It was delicious, but the best way to use it, obviously, is just going to be a regular steak, or if you want to make a premium steak sandwich, not Philly cheese, all right? Because I kind of mess up Philly cheeses a lot. This is a premium steak sandwich like you would get at like the Chop House or the Spanish Butcher back in Scotland. So gonna let that get to room temp. I'm gonna take a shower. I'm wearing the same clothes as yesterday because I've been working outside. That's why my hands are all messed up. And then shortly after, I got to get to the bar, man. I got to go watch the game like a good little goy. So I know what you're thinking. James, you were supposed to go shower, get cleaned up and everything. Like, I've been doing more work outside. I'm even filthier than before. However, I'm just going to get stinking with the olive oil and shit anyway. So I'm just going to keep this on, have my sandwich, wash, straight to the pub, right? To watch the sports ball game so that my sports ball team can win the sports ball competition. A couple things I forgot to mention. A very, very simple recipe, right? But very important that you use sourdough, all right? Sourdough is the best bread. Unless, you know, sometimes you can get one of these artisan loaves with like onion and chive and olive and stuff in it. But I have a little bit leftover frozen sourdough that I got from the Time Market. Kind of expensive loaf. I know a lot of people go, oh, I actually hate sourdough. It rips the roof of your mouth and stuff like that. You froze it too. Look, I don't eat enough bread during the week to really justify a whole loaf of bread getting eaten. And actually, bread always thaws out fine. I know it's a little bit different with sourdough, but once you pan fry it, right, you assemble the sandwich, you pan fry it, and those leftover oils softens right up. You'd think, hey, but you're toasting it. No, because the oils soak in, the juice is released from the steak, it becomes a much better piece of bread, much more palatable. I ran out of cream cheese, which is normally a #1 ingredient. I just don't really have time to go out and get more. I'm gonna go for a little bit of Havarti today. Like I said, simple recipe, so that'll be just about it. The steak, I left it lying in the sunlight here. Oh yeah, well, it's still a tiny bit chill. I don't know. I think it'll be fine. I'm gonna risk it for a biscuit. First things first, you got an electric stove like mine. This is the hottest burner. We're gonna put that to 4. I know you only cook high with stainless steel, but that's plenty high. I'll show you what I mean when I throw the water on there. Don't want to hear complaints by the cast iron community, because I've used this so many times, I've tried so many times. Doesn't matter if it's high heat, low heat, medium heat. I always seem to get it to stick, right? I use stainless steel, it's never a problem. I can clean it afterwards. It's just like, cast iron is actually the biggest like diva of kitchen, I would say appliances, kitchenware. It's annoying and I don't want to have to deal with it. So you'll see the char on this though, like stainless steel does better, in my opinion. Also forgot to mention another important ingredient. Got to put some grilled onions on there. So I've actually turned the heat off that pan to cook the onions first, because you want them like really cooked down, you know what I'm saying? So I got some onion here, not much left. That's all I'm gonna need. I'm gonna chop that up, fry it in some Kirkland Signature grass-fed butter, a little bit of salt. You're good to go. Don't forget to use your Japanese knife. Add in some minced garlic to this just to, you know, increase the flavor tenfold.
Crazy.
I'm going to show you how you know that the stainless steel is ready. And I'm sure loads of you have already heard this, but the water's supposed to dance on the top. So see how it's moving around on there? Now, if it goes on and immediately evaporates, it's not ready. It's actually not hot enough. But if it's dancing like that, you know it's ready. So with that said, Gonna get on the Garaza oil, throw a bunch of this in there. Then our pre-seasoned beef. Once that starts to smoke a little, I'm gonna throw it on down. All right, smoking good. Swirl it around a little. And here we have it. Down. Gonna get a lot of natural fat off that bad boy. This is important. You're gonna wanna see this. Look at the amount of fat that's come out of that since I put it down. Almost like a meat frying it. Look at that. You also notice the stainless steel, it comes right off. Like you don't have to worry about it sticking at all. Even when you first put it down, I often find it moves right away. But if you were a little bit under temp, just wait, allow it to naturally separate and you'll be good. Just make sure you got a decent heat when you start. If you start at a low temp, yeah, it's gonna stick and it's gonna stay stuck. So, all right, now for the sandwich prep, you do want to have the cheese on top. That's important. So I'm gonna grab my Havarti. One slice is plenty. It's got plenty of texture for the whole sandwich. It's not even that large of a sandwich. So we're gonna slice here, or half slice there, half slice there. You know what? We're gonna throw on an extra half slice just to cover the entire sandwich right there. Just so a little bit spills out the edge, makes it look very picturesque. Then we're gonna wanna throw those grilled onions and garlic. Garlic is slightly burnt, that's okay. I like that flavor, but just make sure they are well cooked. And with that, this thing, that's it. That's all the prep you need before you put down your medium rare steak. And just like that, our steak is ready to rest. Gonna leave it to rest for a couple minutes, just to, because it's still actually cooking a little bit in there, and it lets some of that leftover blood just leak out. You don't want a big, wet, soggy sandwich with blood. I'm gonna slice it up. We have a lot of extra fat that I won't be throwing on the sandwich. It's actually too much meat for the sandwich. I'm gonna have a little bit of a chef's share on the side. To the moment of truth. See, feels good. Let's see what's underneath. Damn, that is actually a little overcooked, but let's see. Let's go a little bit deeper, I don't know, dude. Looks pretty good, but yeah, I think a little bit overcooked. And as you can see, there is that ring in there, So that occurs when the steak is too cold when you put it down. It is normally a lot worse than that, though. I'm happy with that. But yeah, if it was more room temperature, that theoretically shouldn't happen. Let's do a little chef share before we plate up. One bite. Perfectly seasoned. You got to do the dry brine. Salt all the way through. Tiny kick from the pepper, but the most overwhelming thing is just so juicy. The steaks. Natural flavors come through the most. Now, I got a little bit ahead of myself and already washed the pan that I need to toast the bread in.
Snake, I think maybe your memory.
So I'm gonna have to throw a little bit extra butter down on that to get this done. I'm just gonna plate it up real quick. All right, very important you put the side opposite the cheese down first. I'm gonna place it down. That bread's very thick, so we're gonna need to compact it a little bit. You wanna densify that bread just to make it easier to eat and to make it a little bit softer. So you're gonna, press this stuff down. That's what we're talking about. That's the light toast that I'm talking about. Oh, it's hot. Beautiful. All right, let's take a bite. I just realized I wasn't recording that entire time. So now, I get to do this all over again. I've already taken 2 bites. You didn't get to see the satisfaction on my face, though, from taking that first bite. So let's do it again, shall we? Slightly overcooked. I've already said all this, but hey. You know what? I'm glad. I'm glad I'm doing a second take. Why? Because that second bite was even better than the first. Got some slippage there. So, yeah. As you can see, bread isn't hard now that it's been toasted with some butter. It's got the perfect crunch, very satisfying crunch, delicious taste, combines very well with the rarity of the steak, the butteriness of the steak. with that sourdough. Overdid the garlic and the onions a lot. Like the onions were perfect, but the garlic was a little bit overcooked. It's adding a little bit of bitterness to it, but it doesn't bother me whatsoever. I would just change it the next time. The next time I make this, I love the Havarti cheese. I prefer it over provolone because it's a very mild taste, but it is a slightly stronger taste than provolone. And provolone is, the texture between them is no different, right? It's negligible. I know I messed up the cook a little bit, just a little bit, but I would rather the steak was slightly overdone than underdone, right? Because I like that crunch, I like that texture. But overall, give you another. This one you can't really see the rarity, a little bit there, but the one I made last week, 10 out of 10, best one I've ever made. Slightly overcooked, burnt the garlic a little bit. I'm going to give this a 9.4, but a very, very delicious and expensive sandwich. My God. I don't know if you've seen the price of beef recently, especially ribeye, but it's like out of control, man. But I would rather do this any day than go over to Texas Roadhouse and get whatever slop they serve in there. It's just slop. That's all they serve. Really bland steaks. It looks like it came out of a lab. Texture it doesn't feel real. That bread stuff they do, hot take, holy hot take. I think the bread is gross. It's soft, fake, sweet bread. It's like you're having a Hawaiian roll with cinnamon sweet butter on the side. That, like, tell me you're a goy without telling me you're a goy.